Very good afternoon. Always good to be here, interacting with you. So, needless to say, this year has been very tough, and you all know that for most. And I'm grateful to getting this chance to be here today and speaking on a topic closest to my heart, which is entrepreneurship. And I must start on a positive note. Salute to many of us in the room, many of us in this login, that we not only survived through this difficult year, but we thrived through the year. And I think I hear that, and that's a very good tribute to all of us. I think thank you guys, thank you entrepreneurs in this room. You guys have done great thing to get on the other side of this year, although we say that it's still not over yet. Um, so I think entrepreneurship to me is that triggers this sensation in the deepest part of our bodies, and this flutters every time you think about it. Skip of your heartbeat, the passion within, all that comes together when we talk about entrepreneurship. So I think we all have accepted, and we must accept that pandemic has affected our lives in more ways that we would like, and that include the industries we work in. I know last year, April, we were all very worried. 2020 has no doubt been a year of resilience and reinvention. And I always, when I say salute, I really salute your resilience, salute your patience, persistent, and obviously, kind of, and that's where we sustained. So fortunately for us, it has given also birth to many new opportunities within this tech world. The entire world, I mean, I must say that the entire world, um, irrespective of the industry, is pivoting towards a hyper digital world. And a lot of times we talk about that is an IT thing. It's not really IT. It's the whole world. The manufacturing, the service models, the retail, every other model is pivoting towards a hyper digital world. While we have all heard the terms retail over the last few years, it is becoming more of a reality today than even before. Use and dependence of digital tech has accelerated, and would get done in 5 years is now getting done in 5 months. They say the acceptance of digital has really paced up, really paced up. And the digital divide has widened also because of that. Like suddenly you see a company which is using all digital technology, and suddenly there's a company which is not even doing. And we can see it. I mean, I can see it under various platforms. I mean, whether it's the industry platform, the traditional industry platforms like CII, we see that way because the companies were really gone and adapted digital transformation. Some of them are still understanding the difference between digitizing, digital, very fundamental level. They're still stuck at that. So as per and I don't know, many of you would have seen the latest McKinsey report, which has come in. The tech sector is leading the 2021 recovery, and there are huge opportunities for the tech companies. I know many of our members in TiE always have in tech, so we talk more. We lean towards talking about more tech. Even the clients are agreeing that leveraging tech is core to the recovery, and tech spend is bouncing back. I mean, this was one experience where all of us are in the same. Like our client environment was also suffering. So the whole aspect of kind of adapting technology has been taken as a common. If you really put everything together, adaptation of technology is one single thing which everybody stuck to recover out. So there's a highly positive CEO's outlook for 21-22. Technology industry in India is poised for growth, job creation, and increased technology spending. 97% of the CEOs expect economic growth to be better than 2020. I mean, obviously, that's the obvious thing, but surveys talk about that. And 90% CEOs expect that the economic growth to be better than 2020. 67% CEOs expect Indian technology industry to grow significantly higher than 2020. 71% CEOs expect global technology spend to be significantly higher than 2020, and 95% CEOs expect 2021 hiring to be more than what they hired in 2020. So all these statistics say, hey, look, we people talk about V-shaped curve, W-shaped curve, U-shaped curve, whatever the shape it comes out with, but there is definitely a 2021 looks like a more promising year for all of us. Disruptive technologies such as big data analytics, cloud computing, machine learning will become new growth drivers for the industry, including manufacturing. agri, water. Day before we were in a meeting, I mean, you won't believe there was like people who were talking about people leveraging AI in water management. There's a gentleman who talked about leveraging AI in the agriculture, the whole food supply chain. There was a guy who talked about the quality of food being viewed by the AI-driven platform. So I mean, where else? So what is left? And we are talking about the extremities in that direction. We talk about manufacturing analytics. We're talking about analytics being used in every aspect of our life now. So technology will no longer be limited to certain industries, but will become very well integrated and necessary to be adopted by all industries, including traditional and conservative industries. I can quote one from the Forrester's report. 35% of the companies will double down workplace automation and AI. One out of four remote workers will be supported by new forms of automation. Indirect will blossom as RPA bots, the robotic process automation bots, combined with conversational intelligence and other intelligent automation will handle business tasks. We all hear day in, day out. Why I'm giving you this picture? We all as entrepreneurs have to sense where is my opportunity. And there are hundreds of opportunities in what I just said, that within this frame itself, there's so many opportunities coming for all of us. The new digital world gives immense rise to the opportunity within cybersecurity and cloud. DSCI's research indicates that India's cybersecurity industry is expected to grow at a 20% CAGR through 2025. As per Forrester, cloud takes center stage in pandemic recovery. Mid-pandemic, the four largest public clouds maintained very strong growth. You all know AWS growing 29%, Azure 47%, Google Cloud 43%, Alibaba 59%. As companies accelerated cloud migrations and rushed out to new apps to meet fast-changing consumer demands. The global public cloud infrastructure market expected to grow 35% to $120 billion in 2021. And India's own public cloud market is expected to grow at 30% CAGR annual 2025 up to 2025. I mean, imagine all what we're just touching the top. We're just touching the top. You won't believe how much more is going to come into these paradigms of cloud, IoTs, AI. We talk about all this regularly. So we must understand that the way we look at our customer experience has undergone a big change in this last year. I think the single word, if I have to share with you all on this keynote, the word is trust. The trust, safety, and inclusion will be at the core of customer experience. Empathy has become the most important value. You talk about your people working from home. I think the way we are talking to our employees, and I share that at different forums, it's truly changed our language to reach out to our people, the language to reach out to our customers. It's all about empathy, digital, and a very, very simple virtual customer care. How virtually we are caring our customers. There has been a big shift to value-based buying. Companies that showcase sensitivity to sustainability are given preference. I can promise you, you're not gonna get you're gonna be hurt if your company pollutes, your company does something which hurts the planet. You're sure something is going to come and hurt you in the coming times. So it's going to be less about products and more about platforms. I think I can always give that example. Is the classic example. The biggest competition of cars may not come from Toyota or Tesla, but from Google, because we all know the platforms are going to take on that part. So let's look at the second part of it. What is this next? We always talk about this next normal. How do we thrive? What is the new playbook in this new next normal? And I think the number one is the trust. Trust is the key currency of the next normal. Business is still a fundamentally human enterprise. All decisions will be based on the trust, competency, reliability, honesty, integrity, and empathy. Whether customer trusts you or enough or no, with respect to keeping employees safe, building capability, investing in cybersecurity, and taking actions to ensure that the business continuity plan does not get disrupted, need to build a customer-centric operational focus. So remember the first golden takeaway from this keynote: trust is the key currency of the next normal. Ability to identify opportunities with strong tailwind. I think many of us have done that. Every day I hear that, oh my God, there is an opportunity in this area, because there's now an ability to pivot your business. Identify those digital transformation opportunities. So figure out what are those like opportunities with the strong tailwinds. Third, businesses will go where talent is. We have seen that many of, I mean, always give example. I mean, you need to go and set up your place where the talent is. I mean, don't keep complaining. Oh my God, I'm in Chandigarh or I'm in a smaller city. I think those times are gone. Go, you can hire anywhere today. You can hire from anywhere in the world. Anywhere you can hire. I know there's a company in Chandigarh hiring people in Lithuania. I mean, I couldn't believe it. People in Chandigarh hiring people down south in Bangalore, Hyderabad, every right. So talent is changing the rules of competition. Is your ability to hire and engage with the people working from anywhere. That is where the business is. So investment in learning is a key success imperative. Customer will work with you if you invest in your talent. And remember, it is not a cost. Huh? It is like, this is not a cost. So invest in the right talent development, build your competitive advantage. All right. The fourth one, I'll talk about fourth one, agility and resilience build sustainability. I think we hear that, we hear these two virtues of agility and resilience. I think there's no shorter aspect of that in the leadership. Leadership will be defined by the ability to leverage the core differentiators or highest impact, faster and better than competition. You need to be ahead of competition much faster, because in the digital world, there is either a winner or a loser. So you need to make sure that it's getting so black and white that you need to be faster. And obviously the role of technology is very, very kind of a big key competitive differentiator now. So remember, strong acceleration is very important in terms of agility and resilience in building your model much more sustainable. Let me share before we close. Before, I know the time is limited, I'll now like to share a few highlights from India's perspective. All right, and that is very important. Um, and this is I've taken from NASSCOM strategic review, leading India's economic recovery, 8% relative to national GDP. Industry continues to be a net hirer. 138,000 net new recruitments would happen. Third largest tech startup, 12,500 tech startups. Can you believe that? We are the world's third largest hub now of the tech startups. 12,500 tech startups, 1,600 plus new will be added in the 2020, highest in the last 3 years, despite all what we saw. Increased focus on innovation. I mean, we do work in the patent side, and know a gentleman talks to me very often. 115,000 new tech patents filed in India, and 8,000 in US during 2015 to 2020. Look at the amount of tech patents being filed. That shows something else. All right, and obviously now that we talk about resilient domestic demand, is getting higher and higher than export. The domestic demand is increasing. So many of us who are in export business have to pivot our businesses, thinking as one day we need to look at some streams in the domestic market. Right? And obviously, India as a nation is continuing to invest in becoming a talent nation. Several schemes from the government, I don't want to talk about them quickly, but huge amount of tech industry, digital upskilling, 250,000 employees to be trained, huge opportunity in that space itself. Right? And then I'll take you a little further. I mean, I'll just talk about very quickly some stuff in the localization aspect. TCS is really recruiting 10,000 staff in the United States by 2022, which is a very big announcement. Infosys plans to double its headcount in Canada by 4,000 employees, adding in the next 12 to 18 months. All these things tell you the new trend. They tell you what is happening in that area. I must say big thanks to the government of India with the new OSP guidelines. Government has done away with the registration requirement for OSP, which will facilitate permanent work from home and work from anywhere for the technology firm. Huge stride, huge jump in the policy reforms. We can talk about a bit of maybe a few lines on that aspect, that upskilling workforce to create a future-ready talent pool of engineers. I think this is one space which I think many of you need to work. We need to think about future-ready talent pool. We all talk about every day in our meetings, we are full stack ke log nahi mil rahe, DevOps ke log nahi mil rahe. We talk about those talents and we say, look, these engineers are not there. They are very limited people because nobody worked on them in the past. So now suddenly the demand is there, and so remember, this demand is going to sustain. So please start looking into upskilling workforce to create these future-ready talent pools. We take you to the little bit of few learning, kind of a little bit of sharing of my key learnings before I close. I think these are few learning which I saw during this last year, and very much what I experienced at my in my own organization. I think the client connectivity, the personal touch brought in greater bonding with the client. I strongly recommend all of you to have a CEO Connect program. It's virtual, but cultural integration, talking to their families, inviting them over to the video conference, tell them, look, we love to host you once the COVID goes away. I mean, some spending that quality time on a personal touch with the client is very fundamental to client connectivity. Don't just get into a boring straight video conference and in and out. Don't do that. Please build that empathy angle and personal touch angle to that. Because remember, excellent client relationships has seen us through during the adverse times. I mean, our company experienced huge adversities. Many of you are aware of those. How our client relationships have seen us through during these adverse times. Increased client engagements, during the pandemic or any kind of adversity, that is what resulted in client stickiness with you. So please build relationship with your client. It matters. Trust will carry you through. Trust, take my word, that's my keynote today. Trust will carry you through. Second point, when we talk about our own leadership team and the employees, I think there is a alignment. It's not about retaining people. It's not about retaining and forcing them to stay on. It's all about alignment on core values with them. As long as you align regularly with them on your core values, the teams will stay, the employees will stay. The key drivers for us on those areas have been from goodness, be good to them, competence and loyalty. There's always a conflict between competence and loyalty comes in very often. But I think somewhere goodness, competence and loyalty, if you make that triangle and start mapping your people and you have alignment of core value, take my word, your own teams will stay with you longer. They will have deeper relationships, not only with your clients, with your own people also. And that is where we started seeing the dividends of that. Over the last 1 year. Hey, look, that makes a big difference. And also one more thing which I always talk about, some of you probably would have heard about it, that is about spending quality time with them. If you get a chance ever to travel with your key team members, teaching them about things, how the things work in the other countries, how the things work share your own stories with them on and on. Small things like enjoying different cuisines of the food, cultures, driving, language, client interaction. Even don't mind, even if you have to share some time, forcefully a room with them. It all helps in employee building. Take my word on that. There's some of the key learnings which I'm sharing. The third area, I think somewhere I always feel the CEO, we call his founder or CEO, is a key job. We really keep what is his key job? We say, his key job is growth, his key job is making sure the investors are happy. I think the single key job of a CEO is to remove the constraints and clear the pathways, which will in units, which are units to function smoothly and grow. So remember, your job is to identify those constraints and clear the pathways. Have an open outlook. Even how does it matter even you're operating from Chandigarh? Why I'm bringing it to you? Well, many of us are linking. I think we live our years through. We are living in Chandigarh, so probably nothing can happen. So don't put your constraints on self or business needs. All right, remove these constraints, figure out a way, and you will get there. So identify these constraints, work on them, and know the importance of positioning. I mean, even if you need to have set of mentors, reach out to them and categorize them. They'll help you remove the constraints. Fourth point I'll say is the compliance. I suffered personally a lot, in this aspect. What is compliance? As the companies age, you keep taking decisions, you keep building new ways of doing things, and suddenly somewhere the things fall through the cracks, and the skeletons increase in the company. My learning, keep cleaning them. Make sure your board meetings are recorded, your shareholders agreements are in place. Don't keep leave these things for chance. Make whatever is that. Do step down and look at how your filings have been done. Are you sure that all compliances? So even to the extent, even take a quarterly certificate. If you are even delegated, tell your HR guy, can you certify that all our PF, PSIs, all these compliances are all done. So take some kind of a self-cleaning exercise. These should not come later and haunt you. That's my key learning on compliance side. The fifth one, obviously, I say constantly improve your value proposition. Remember, the same value proposition which was differentiated 10 years back is not no longer a value proposition. So you need to bring those small elements of differentiation in your value proposition. So keep involving it. I give a very good example. If we still work on publishing, which was told 20 years, 30 years back, we was told the life is 10 years. We still get business on publication because now we do foreign language publication. We just picked up 2-3 tools and learn how to deal with the foreign language publication. That became the differentiation in our value proposition. All right, people talk about legal words. You can talk about small elements of AI related training data sets for legal. That itself is differentiated. I give you example. People, many of you know that we do a lot of work on the scribing side. We are saying, hey, look, we are telling our client, we will give you, these days you can do anywhere. We can give you live support on your medical scribing, can be on site. And we can hire people in Canada, we can hire people in US and give you the scribing. There, the client says, wow, that makes huge differentiator as compared to many other companies. So clean up that, strengthen those kind of processes. Can I hire more people, say in Canada? That will give you a strength, it will give you a differentiation. And one of the very big ones, I would say, the last one I would say, always search the true north of your business. Many of times in mentoring and interaction, and including me, we always keep wondering, what is the true north of my business? What I want it to be look like? What is my business true north? And that, whether it is a lifestyle or you want to build a valuation and exit at a particular time, or I want to deal with my partner or buy, whatever is the true north of your business, start searching for it. It's not easy, but take this word. True north is of your business is one of the mantras you should always actually look here. That will, otherwise it will come back to you someday, come back to you early mornings when you're sleeping. It will come and haunt you again. And I think one of the things which you did in the recent times, I can share that with you today. With the passage of time, I noticed the IDS branding is recognized in a particular way. It smells of the old stuff. It smells of medical transcription. It smells of maybe BPM. So we say, no, let's do something. We think about it and we say, look, over to North, we need to have a new brand on the top of our company. And we launched a new company called IOTA Analytics recently, which, and trust me, all our customers are welcoming it. When you go and tell them, first we are very apprehensive. I talk to Samir, I talk to Manish, I have to say, look guys, I'm gonna go and talk about it. And when you go and do these things in front of a client and say, this is my true north, this is what I'm heading toward, they all love it. So I hope some of these key learnings I shared from my personal experience as an entrepreneur, they are not very different from what the pandemic has taught all of us. We must bring empathy at the forefront and build trust. We must invest in our talent pool and build strong teams that are aligned with our core values and vision. We must smell the opportunities, trust our intuition, and seize the opportunity. And lastly, we must ensure we adopt risk mitigating strategies and provide a secure and compliant environment to our clients. I would like to end by driving the point that we are at the epicenter to transform our country, India, into a hub for world-class IT services, software product development, impact-led innovation, and digital talent. It is now all upon us to turn the crisis into the biggest opportunities of our life. Thank you, guys. I hope you can take away something from this note, and wish you a very good year ahead, TiE. Thank you, President Mr. Madan, for inviting me to give this keynote, share my thoughts. Thank you so much, guys.